Hey kids, welcome back to part 2 of this build of the Crazy Scientist and his monster set. If you saw part 1, you saw the minifigures and you saw us build this cool little steampunk monster fighting vehicle. So now we are on to Crazy Scientist Lab, and this is a pretty cool little build. So I hope you guys like it. It does have a light brick, and they do something fun with it on this one. It's something I didn't know you can do with it. So you always kind of learn something new every time you build a Lego set, I guess. But anyway, enough of the talking. Let's go ahead and get into this. I mean, I guess I could talk. I mean, you're not talking, are you? I mean, you could be talking. I can't hear you though. Alright. So it has this hinge brick on there, although I can't remember if it really uses the hinge action too much. I think it's just to create kind of a angular build. Where's that panel? There it is. Couple levers. Hopefully these won't fall off too easy, although they normally do. Try to keep that on there. Cool cone, and then some big panels. Oops, I forgot to slope. So these Monster Fighter sets are really cool, especially around the Halloween time or fall time. I'm recording this on October, what day is today? October 11th, 2014. And I am in Texas while recording this. That's where I live. I say while I'm recording it now because who knows what it's going to be like in the future. I may live somewhere else. But in Texas, it's always hot. And today was our first kind of cool day. We had a little cold front come through, bring in some rain over the night, and now we have cooler temperatures. Now it's not cold, but when we go from 95 degrees one day to 65 the next, that's pretty significant little cool off. So leaves are starting to fall and pumpkin spice everything is in the air. So we break out the Monster Fighter Legos to get in that Halloween spirit. So we're building this cool little mechanism that we're going to use to turn part of the model. So we're using a little bit of Technic pieces. Right there. So you see there's a Technic gear back here, and it's connected to some gears in here. So when you turn it on the back, you can see that they're all interconnected, and it's turning this axle right there. So let's continue on, and we'll see what's going to be connected to that axle to make it all turn. I can't wait. I already know what it's going to do because I've already built this set before, but I'm not going to give it away. And these octagon plates are pretty cool because they do have a pinhole that the axles go through, and will allow them to continuously turn without anything getting in the way of them. So you can see our inner workings are still in there, and this axle goes all the way through and it's turning. Now, we're gonna get our light brick. And here's what's gonna be cool about it. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see what we're doing. So, as you know, the light brick is shaped like a standard 2x3 brick. It has this little button on the end, and when you push it, there's a little LED light in there. So, what we're going to do is attach it to this plate, like that, and then we're going to put a Technic brick on here. So you can see that hole lines up right where that LED light is. Now we're going to put one of these Technic pins in it, like that. Still a hole straight through it. You can see the light, you can still see the light through there. We have a modified plate on top. Some of these modified plates with studs on the sides, on each side. And then we're going to put a 2x2 jumper plate with a couple of these grill tiles on both sides. Okay. Now we have one of the few pieces that I had stickered originally. It's just a 2x4 tile with this kind of mechanical sticker looking thing on there. Two little steering wheels on the sides for decoration. And then here's what's kind of cool. Remember now, it has that Technic pin in there. We can still see the light through there. So we put this bar, this trans fluorescent yellow bar, right inside of that Technic pin. And then we put this 2x2 dish all the way down like that. See, now it still goes through there. So the light, I don't know if you can see it here, but it's like a beam of light that's shooting right through this little bar. It's basically just lighting it up, but it's really cool how it does that, and It's not quite like a laser pointer, because when I point it on the table, you can see it's creating this big area of light. You know, even if I get real close, you can see it's still a big area of light. So it's not like a laser pointer, but it gives you this illusion that it is. See the way that the tip is lighting up? It's really cool the way it does that. All right, now we're gonna build a little push button for it. So this push button goes on the back right there. Oops, let me see. Right there, and that little push button we were doing. So it's a big, kind of like no whammy, no whammy. It's like a plunger button. So that goes over here. Now remember, we have in here, we have these little 4-tooth gears. When you turn them, remember it's turning our axle too. But here's what's also cool about it, is we're gonna put this right in here, just like that. Now watch as I turn this. It's actually depressing those little 4-tooth gears. It's actually depressing that plunger button piece, and look what it's doing. So every time I turn this, it's giving you a little flash of light. And you can turn it to where it's kind of depressed at all times, but I think it's cool the way you turn it, and see, I'm turning it, and the light is flashing. And this is why I like this Crazy Scientist set. It's got this cool little play feature. And wait till you see what it's doing, what it's aiming at when it's doing that. Kind of makes it even more cool. Now I remember why this is one of my favorite Monster Fighter sets. It definitely has some of the most playability. And then of course, this is the unique little Monster Fighter gem. Every Monster Fighter set has one. This one is the lightning bolt. He's a crazy scientist. He's harnessing the electricity and up to no good, I guess. So let's continue this little build. Goes in the middle. So these are pretty cool little details. It's like this little energy capture thing, like it's capturing energy from the sky. Two of them, one on each side. Just like that. You can see they're kind of posable. Ah! I can't believe I did that. I pushed way too hard. That's not too bad. Problem is this piece up here overhangs so much. When I pushed down on it, it was actually really flimsy. It still kind of is. Alright, so this is our main tower. So remember, it's pretty cool. It has the gear back here that you turn. And hold on, one of these levers is loose. Okay, so we turn this gear. Makes our little laser shoot. And then it also turns the little gem at the top up there. All right, so we're gonna build some other pieces and then come back and connect it to it. So let's go ahead and get on to this next piece. This is going to be the piece that the laser is aiming at. Be a cool little accessory piece. A little bit more Technic pieces. Maybe a little gear in here. All right, so now this piece slides in there. Put a brick on the end to keep it on. And we'll bring over the main tower, put it on there. We have a couple torches go on each side. So you can see it's really coming together now. Got a main tower, and what happens is our monster lays here, and we've got this little knob that you can turn them. Zoom in a little bit. So you can see him laying on the bed. And you can turn this knob and he slides forwards or backwards. And then of course you turn the knob and you can see it's flashing light on the monster. So this is what's, you know, in theory, creating the monster, harnessing the electricity and all the crazy stuff going on here. So that's cool. All right, so now we're gonna build the jail cell to the jail cell that goes to the other side of the crazy scientist lab. Another little hinge brick. Turn it this way. This is where all the action's gonna be. Pretty straightforward build. I would say that the most complicated part was probably that few Technic pieces that were in the main tower. Other than that, it's not that bad of a build. We're starting to decorate the lab now with some of the crazy scientists' potions or whatever else he uses. Of course, there's a skull, and this is a glow-in-the-dark skull. That's pretty cool. Can't see it. I'll have to turn all the lights off, but I'm not going to do that right now. Get that on there. There we go. Glow-in-the-dark skull. And the skull is actually in a jar. So we'll put the lid on it. We have a bone clipped onto the wall. We have a wrench. And then we have some sort of gauge, maybe a temperature gauge, keeping the skull preserved. Now we'll finish up the cell. window there. And then the spider right here, glow-in-the-dark spider. Yep, it is. Cuffed it in my hand just to make sure I wasn't lying to you. The glow-in-the-dark spider. And then we have a glow-in-the-dark rat. It'll go right there. Frog. Right up over it. So we got a frog, and then we have the jail cell doors. Well, it's just one door. Goes right there. So there's a jail cell. It's not quite done yet. All right. So that's the bulk of it. We have a little roof piece. It's going to be built separately. But this is going to go on the jail cell roof. Very similar to the tower roof. With, of course, some minor changes because it doesn't have all the tower stuff on it. Has a catapult though. And it rotates, so it has a little bit of steering you can do with it. So this catapult tower goes right over the jail cell. And of course I didn't line it up right. There we go. And of course, kids, remember when you shoot your catapult ammo, don't put your eye out. Don't need any of that. Okay, so now back here we have our web. And the web, is this glow-in-the-dark web? No, this is not a glow-in-the-dark web. So one of the very first things doesn't glow in the dark. Alright, so now we have the back of the jail cell. It's a wall panel that is held on with just a few jumper plates. And that is part of the play feature of this. So there's the back of the jail cell with a chain conveniently attached to it. Okay, so that's it for the build. Let me show you how all of this attaches. We'll bring over the main tower piece and we just attach it right there like that. So this is it in its fully open position. So what happens in theory is one of the monster fighters gets captured by the crazy scientist and he's in the jail. So we put him in there. So what this car does is come over. It's got a hook on the back, right there. Attach the chain to the hook, and then it peels out. And when it does, pulls the back of the jail cell off, and our monster fighter can escape and or take the crazy scientist into custody. So that's pretty cool. So there's a lot of play features in the set. The car has limited amount. You know, we saw the flick fire, kind of the aimable thing in this one in build 1. And then here, I think this tower is really cool with the, you know, the ability to save them from jail. It's got the catapult. You have your laser lasering your monsters. You have all this cool little science stuff or like science experiment stuff. And then on the top here, you've got your gem. You can see it turns when I'm turning this. There's just so much cool playability with it. This is a cool set. I like it. Unfortunately, if you didn't get this when it first came out 2 years ago, in 2012, it's probably going to be hard to find at a decent price. You could probably find it on eBay or some third-party Amazon seller, but who knows, maybe you have enough pieces to make something like this at home. So this is cool. I like it. Thumbs up. If you like what you saw, make sure to give us a thumbs up. Check us out on Instagram, String Cheese and Applesauce. We do pictures of all these sets before they even get put on YouTube. So you'll basically get a sneak peek of everything that we have going on and coming up. So check it out, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.